A quick update before the video starts. If you guys do not want to sit through the whole entire hour and 40 something minutes to watch this whole entire video, we will have all of our list in the description, so go check that out if you do not want to sit through the whole entire video. But if you want to sit through the excitement, you might as well just stay, and if you want to go through to the top 10, you're also welcome to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Welcome back to the Ball No Lie podcast, where we talk all things NBA basketball. We have a very special episode for you guys today. We've been meaning to do this since ESPN put out their list of the top 25 players under 25. Um, that included potential as well as right now, if I'm not mistaken. And they had a lot of wild players like at positions like Lamelo at 3 and stuff like that. We decided to do our own version of it, make our top 25 under 25. So the order is going to be Tejas, David, Hudson, and then me. We're going to go in snake order. So for 25, Tejas will go first. For 24, I will go first, so on and so forth. Everyone will give their player first, and then we'll talk about, why we had X, Y, or Z. So at 25, Tejas, who was your 25?
Yeah, so one more. I just wanted to make one more thing. Say one more thing. At the end of the video, Hudson's gonna post a list of everybody's top 25. So if you don't feel like listening to the entire list, you can just scroll to the end of the video and just see everybody's list and comment. All right. But at 25, I have OG Anunoby. I think he's one of the best. He's one of the better wing defenders in this league. And he's growing. And now that Toronto has acknowledged that they will be a young team, he's going to be a big part of that. So I've got him at 25.
I've got Lonzo Ball at 25. I know that this guy does have a little potential, but what I'm trying to say for putting it 25 is that because it's for both this season and potential. So I do think that he has potential, but I don't think that he has one of the best point guards in the league potential, maybe top 10 point guard eventually, but I don't see him being a superstar one day or even a top tier all-star. But I do think that he has some of the most potential in the league.
Number 15, I also have OG Anunoby. Like you said, he's one of the better defenders in the league and just wing players.
25, right? Not 15.
Oh, what'd I say?
At 15.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. 25, I got OG Anunoby. Like you said, one of the better wing defenders and also just defenders in general. And obviously, like you said, the Raptors are showing that they're going to be young. I think that OG will be part of the Raptors for as long as they're going to have him for. Just because obviously they're looking like they're going to be staying young for a little while. So I have OG 25 here.
Yeah, I got OG 25 as well. And yeah, I mean, same reasons why everyone said, I have, nothing really much more to say apart from they all hit it all on the head. He's a really good defender. Not only like a wing defender, I've seen him, front bigs in the post, and he can definitely switch on to guards as well. So, he's a very good defender. And I do think his offensive game will improve, especially, when he starts getting a little bit more shots, as his, age grows. But yeah, I think 25 is a good spot for him. Do y'all have Lonzo Ball higher? Because David had Lonzo. Do you have Lonzo higher or lower?
I
Or not on
have
the list?
I have Lonzo a bit higher on the list.
I don't have Lonzo on my list.
Okay. Well, speaking of Lonzo, he's my 24. Lonzo is my 24. I think Lonzo right now is having a cool season. 14, 4, and 6. But the thing with Lonzo Ball is I do think he's being used in a very, um wrong role. He's being used as a spot up shooter, which I don't think is his mode. I do think that his game, his potential should be more as a guy who has the ball in his hands a little bit more, which is why I don't really see New Orleans as a fit for him, which is why they were trying to get rid of him, especially with the point guard play that they already have. I really like that Lonzo Ball has improved his free throw shooting. He was in the 50s and now he's almost 80%. So Shout out to Lonzo for that.
My number 24 player here. I'm kind of surprised that you actually have Lonzo here. I have Tyler Hero, obviously being a Heat fan. I will say a little bit overrated. By a little bit I mean a lot by our fans. But I do think that Tyler Hero definitely has a lot of potential to be a top 25 player in the league. Maybe not by then, including some of the rookies that we have coming in this draft class, like guys like Cunningham and Suggs and Mobley. But I think Hero's been proving a lot this season, proving that he's also not even being a starting player. He's coming off the bench. I think basically we tried starting him a bit earlier in the season, but he just wasn't showing it. He started showing slugs, or he just was not playing well. He had his slumps in January during the Harden rumors, and also in March during the possible Kyle Lowry rumors. He didn't want to be traded, and now that the trade deadline is over, he is balling out. I think that he will improve a ton next season. Maybe not the chance to win most improved just because he would have to average like 30, but he's definitely a candidate to be the starting point guard for Miami next season.
I'm gonna have to agree with Hudson on this one. I have Tyler Hero at number 24. The reason I don't have him higher is because I think that from last season, like he's improved a little bit. There hasn't been a big improvement. Like he's shot a lot worse from three, about I think 5% or so. But he's handling the ball more this season than he did last season. And I think that Hero does have a lot to grow, and I think that he'll be a great offensive player. But what concerns me about him is defense, because he's always been a pretty bad defender. So I think that ceiling-wise, he's very high, but I don't think that he's gonna reach his ceiling. And I think that he'll be close, but I don't think that he'll get like to the top.
Surprisingly, I don't have Tyler Hero at 24. I have Mikhail Bridges. I see why everybody's really likes Mikhail Bridges. He's got the size, he's got the length, but I just don't really see offensively from him. Like I just don't. He's just a slasher and just sit in the corner wing three guy, in my opinion. But I just don't see it in Mikhail Bridges. But he deserves a spot on this list, so he's at 24.
Okay. So for David and Hudson and me, I have Mikal Bridges. I don't have Mikal Bridges on my list. Where do you guys have him?
I don't have Mikhail Bridges on my list either.
Wow, for real? I mean, I have him far, but not like far, but I have him pretty far higher up. But he's past top 20.
Okay. For my number 24, I have, this might be a little low. I have Tyrese Haliburton. He's been doing really well this year. Or 23, sorry, not 24. I have Tyrese Haliburton at 23. He's been doing really well this year. The reason I have him a little bit lower is because for a rookie, he's already like I don't want to say old, but he's 21 years old. So he's a lot older than some of the other players that are above him on my list. So yeah, I have Tyrese Haliburton. I think he's been doing really well. He's been coming off the bench a little bit. His shooting splits look pretty good. Yeah, I just needed him to get to the free throw line a little bit more. He only averages 1 free throw attempt per game. So yeah, I have Tyrese Haliburton at 23. 23.
I don't have Tyrese Haliburton on my list, but I do have Tyler Hero at 23. I just don't know why. He's got that Devin Booker type feeling. He's overrated for sure. Don't get me wrong, but he's going to be a player in this league for a while. Just because he can create his own shot. He's a really good type player, and he's 23 on my list.
For me, the next I think like 4 or so picks are a little bit biased because I like these players a lot. Like not the next player, but the players I put above him. Because I think that this player right here is a great player, and I think that he does have a lot to grow, but I don't see him growing too much. Like he can grow a lot. I misworded what I was gonna say. I don't think he has a lot to grow, but I think he will grow a decent amount from where he is right now, and that's Colin Sexton. And I know you guys are gonna get like really surprised how I'm slow. And if I wasn't biased, I wouldn't have slow either. Because the next few guys I have, I actually really like. So I didn't put him that high. And also, I don't have Tyrese Haliburton on my list because, like Suhas said, he's a little bit older compared to the other rookies. And although he's one of my favorite, players so far because I love his game and I think he's a really composed player, especially for a rookie, that I think that he will grow, but I can't put him on this list just yet.
Number 23 for me is going to be Lonzo Ball. I forgot who. I think some people had him lower, but I definitely think that Lonzo Ball is playing pretty well this season. He had like 8 threes last week or something ago. He's been playing well, but the Pelicans are not using him too wisely, and I really thought that they could move him by the deadline. I think a place like Chicago would have been perfect for him. I would have loved to see him in Chicago playing with Levine and Vooch. But I think instead in New Orleans, he's not playing right, and he could leave this offseason. Is he restricted free? Does anybody know if he's a restricted free agent?
He is.
So I'm guessing that the Pelicans are more than likely going to match whatever he gets. But
I don't know. Don't be certain because they were trying to get rid of him at the trade deadline. They might let it go.
Didn't the Pelicans offer Lonzo like an pick for just Kelly Oubre? The Warriors declined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing Clippers rumors too.
Yeah, because David said it could possibly be a sign-in.
The Bulls.
Wouldn't be surprised. But I like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls even try to go after him in the offseason. I think that Levine is also a free agent, but I think that they're regardlessly going to bring him back if they trade for Lonzo plus they got Vooch. I think that Lonzo would love to be there and Zach LaVine would want to come back. So, yeah, but I think that Lonzo Ball definitely has a lot of potential to maybe not be one of the greatest point guards in the NBA in 5 years, but possibly be at least a starting caliber player. So that's why I'm going to have him here at 23.
Okay, yeah, at 22, I have Tyler Hero. The reason I have Tyler Hero at 22 is because I think he has high potential. He's 21 years old. I like the Devin Booker comparison. Is cool. But I think realistically, Tyler Hero could probably be like a Jamal Murray type player. Devin Booker might be a little bit high for him. He hasn't really showed me, his ability. Like his ball handling ability is far below Devin Booker's when he was at this age. Because I watched Devin Booker coming out of Kentucky. I really wanted the Heat to take Devin Booker. Unfortunately, they took Justice Winslow, but Devin Booker is one of my favorite players. And Tyler Hero, until he develops that ball handling ability, I do think he has a shot creation. I do think his vision is cool. He's a very good rebounder for his position. The ball handling ability and the defense is what I need him to step up on, and maybe he can get up higher. But I do think he has all-star potential.
Well, number 20, or we're on 22 now. Number 22 here for me, I have John Collins. Now, I think a lot of people may have him higher up on the list, but I don't know where he could end up. I think that Atlanta, there was rumors that they could trade him, or that they possibly. I think I think he doesn't even have a contract signed with them, because he didn't by the contract extension date last season. So I think he's going to be restricted, but I would not be surprised if Atlanta didn't bring him back. So I don't know where he could be playing next season, or it could be a sign and trade or something like that. But I don't know. I just think that if John Collins ends up staying with the Hawks, Trae Young is a bit of a ball hog, and I don't know if he will get the max potential he could get there. I think a place like could be potentially Boston. But I don't know. It all depends to me where John Collins plays. With Atlanta, probably I'll keep him lower on this list. If he ends up going to a place like Boston, where he could get the max potential, as they don't really have a big, he would be their starting big, even at center or power forward. I would probably have him up higher on this list.
Wait. Before the next person goes, Hudson, you have Mikhail Bridges on your list, right?
Correct.
You got Mikhail Bridges over John Collins?
I do. I think that there's a lot of potential Mikel on both sides of the ball.
Okay. I respect it.
So for me at number 22, I actually really want to put this guy higher because I watch obviously the most games because he's a Raptors player. I mean, it's Ogn Nobi as with Siakam, Lowry, and Elite on his team. This guy is and he also has This guy's also the 4th or 5th ball handler on the team. Keep that in mind. So as a 4th or 5th ball handler, he averages 15 points per game. And when he does handle the ball, when these guys are out, he's shown that he can dribble the ball and he can take it to the rack and he can score. And already he's probably around the top 15 defender in the league. So this guy has a lot of potential. And I think that, since I watched so many Raptors games, I can see it in him. And I just know that he has it in him and he wants to be better. He guards 1 through 5. He battles with Embiid when he played against the Sixers. He locked up Devin Booker. Sadly, we couldn't get the rebound after that play. And, I just think that this guy has a lot to grow, and he's already a great player, especially a guy who's 23 years old.
I had 22. I had RJ Barrett. I think RJ Barrett, he was very underappreciated, especially this year. And he was undervalued after, especially being in a draft class with John Morant and Zion Williamson. But he's having a pretty efficient season. And he's playing really well. And I just really like the way he plays. And especially since the fact that New York basketball is back. And so he's got to be 22 because he's going to be a big part of that Knicks franchise for years to come.
Wait, sorry. I have a quick.
Oh, I was going to continue on, but go ahead, Hudson. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just have a quick question for. So you have Barrett at 22. I think we're at right now. Does anybody have RJ Barrett higher?
No.
He didn't make my list.
Did it make the list?
Same here.
Okay.
RJ Barrett didn't make my list.
All right. Same with me. All right. I was just wondering because
okay. I'll explain why he didn't make my list. I think he's having a bounce back year. I think it's too small of a sample size for me. Like the guys that I have on the list have done.
So I don't know if that's a small sample size.
The guy, like apart from the rookies on this list, the people on this list have done it for more than half a season. Like last year, he was underwhelming. Like for a 3rd overall pick, let's be honest.
Because if you have Barrett here, I'm expecting wherever Barrett is, I'm just expecting Hero higher. That's the only thing I can say.
Well,
I mean, the reason he didn't make my list, and obviously I'd want him to grow as a player because Canadian, I'm from Canada. But the reason he didn't make my list is because he turns the ball over for like a lot compared to how much he handles the ball this year and last year. Like he doesn't handle the ball very often. Like he's more of like a spot up shooter, like a pull up shooter. And he averages like 2 turnovers, as that being his main, part of his game. So he's a little bit I don't know how you say it, not lazy, but you guys know what I mean when he has the ball in his hands. And he's also a pretty bad defender. So I also don't think that he has like the potential that the other players on this list do.
All right, I get Josh's point, but I think he deserved a spot on this list. But anyways, moving on to 21, I have Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton has been a beast this year, and he was a beast towards the end of the year last year when he started to figure things out. And he's been playing really well for that Cavs team. And he's going to be a prolific scorer for years to come if the Cavs build properly around him. And he deserved a spot on my list, and I thought he was better than the 4 players I had. I'm sorry, 5 players. 4 players I had behind him. So I have him at 21.
At my number 21 spot, I have a guy who, to be honest, he could even be higher up, but I have Dijante Murray. This guy is amazing. If you guys don't have him on your list, I'd be really surprised. He's like, I think 6'4" or something like that. He averages like 7 or 8 rebounds. He's a great rebounder, especially for his height. And, he could score the ball. He could pass the ball very well. He averages, I think, 5 or 6 assists, and he has a better assist to turnover ratio than 2, which is for the pace in NBA nowadays is pretty good. And I think that he has a lot to grow. He's only in his third or fourth season. He's a little bit older than the rest of the guys, but I think that this season, last season, like he sort of started to show what he can do.
At my number 21 here, I have Mikal Bridges here. Year one, came into the NBA 22. Year one only started 56 out of 82. Year two was last year. Obviously, it was a shortage of games, but he only started about half the games he played. This season, he's played 51. He has started 51 games, averaging about 32 minutes per game. And I mean, like, I just think that Mikal, we all know, is a beast of a defender, and I think he's better than Ogn Nobi. And I think that he definitely is a lot more to prove in his NBA career as only a 24-year-old. With the Suns, is a huge help. You look at the offensive skill on that team, and I definitely think that Mikal Bridges just balances it all out with his defense. And Mikal this season averaging 13, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, I think, and he is just, I think, going to improve, if anything, of his career. I feel like he's a player that will improve even after his prime. And I just have so much high potential on Mikal Bridges. Would not be surprised if he made an all-defensive team within the next 2-3 years.
Okay, I have Dijante Murray on this list. I mean, at my what is this, 21? Yeah,
Yeah.
I got Dijante Murray at 21. Same with David. I just think he has his potential is through the roof, man. He's a guy. I believe he was the youngest player in NBA history to make all defensive team. So at the guard position, he's already clamping up. And I think he can also guard, some wings in this league as well. He's pretty big for a point guard. And I like a lot. I like big point guards. I like point guards that have the ability to guard multiple positions. And he has that ability. His offensive game, I think, is quietly improving. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. I think. He's quietly averaging about almost 16 points per game. He rebounds the ball really, really well for a guard. He does a little bit of everything. So. Yeah, I have Dijante Murray at 21, and I don't have Mikal Bridges on my list.
That's interesting. Well, number 20 for me is going to be Deandre Aiden. I think that he does have a lot of potential, and especially, like I said, I have 2 back-to-back Phoenix players here. They are definitely one of the favorite teams to watch in this league, with Book, CP3, even Mikal on the defensive end. Maybe not too exciting to watch, but definitely a fun team to watch with their defense and offense combined. But DeAndre Ayton having a pretty solid season so far, averaging around 15, 11, and 2-ish, and having a career season, something like that, and he's only going to improve, I think. The Suns are going to be an insane team for many, many years to come, even post CP3, and I think that their big is going to be led by DeAndre Ayton.
Okay, at my number 20, I have Michael Porter Jr. People forget that Michael Porter Jr. was supposed to be my fault. I have Michael Porter Jr. at 20. Sorry. People forget that MPJ was supposed to be a top 3 pick, or top 5 at least. He was also projected to be top 3 by some outlets. They had the Kings taking him. And then he fell for some reason to 14, and I think it was because of the injury for sure. And when the Nuggets got him, it was a steal, because that was a team where he wasn't going to have to be the guy, because they already had a solidified team, and he's embraced his role really well. Unfortunately, this is also the reason why I don't have him higher, which is I don't think he's going to reach his full potential on the Nuggets, playing alongside guys that are going to be options above him. But I still think he's a very good player, and I do think he has, high potential. I'm high on Michael Porter Jr. I think he's having a great season.
I think this is 20, right? This is 20?
Yeah, this is 20. Yeah, it's 20.
So I have 20. I have John Collins. I think that this guy, he can improve to be higher than the spot that I put him at right now, because last season when he played a lot of center, he showed that he could rebound the ball well, and he could do some sort of shot blocking. He's not a really good defender, but he showed that he could grow as a defender because he's athletic, he's quick. If he just builds some more muscle, then he'll become a good defender. And he's also already one of the best finishers in the league. Most of the shots are blocks and stuff like that, and he shoots like 90% or last season he shot 80%, not 80% from like in front of the rim, and which is just insane. Am I lagging for any of you? All right. So I think that he has a lot to grow. He already showed that he could shoot the ball as well. So I think that he could be higher up on this list, but as of right now, I think everybody above him is better than him, and I think they have more to grow.
For me at 20, I just realized I made a mistake. I actually completely forgot Dijante Murray. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Mikhail Bridges, move him to 25, take OG out of the list, and move Dijante Murray at 24. I feel like I just forgot about him. But anyways, moving on to 20. I have Deandre Ayton at 20. Deandre Ayton is he's going to be one of the better big man in the league. He's got to work. He's got CP3 beside him, and I expected a bigger leap, but he's going to get going. He's still young, and I've got him at 20. And at 19, I'm going to have to agree with Suhas a little bit. Michael Porter Jr., when he came out of the draft in 2018, was one of the better prospects in the league. But that back injury, I thought he was going to go super high too. I was kind of surprised he went to 14. But on the Nuggets, when you have Jokic, Murray, you have Aaron Gordon, I don't think there's much opportunity for him to thrive. And I think if he gets traded somewhere else, maybe his potential grows. But for right now, I just don't think he deserves a high spot on this list. So I'm leaving him at 19.
I just want to say one thing about MJ. I've just a touch higher than the rest of you guys. I don't know about Hudson, but for you and Suhas, I was just a touch higher than you guys. At this spot, I have Deandre Ayton, and you guys might be a little bit surprised here that I have him this low. I mean, obviously, Hudson had him a little bit lower than me, but I think that this guy, he's improved by a lot as a defender this season than he was last season. Last season, he wasn't that good of a defender, and this season, like, taking on his role more than last season. Knows what he's supposed to do. He's just become a better defender, and he's a way more composed player. He shoots like 5% more. I thought that alongside Chris Paul, he would get better as a scorer, but I didn't realize that he'd take his role in like he'd actually find his role and take it. And I guess that's what Chris Paul does. He makes guys know what they're supposed to do, and he holds people accountable. So it sort of makes sense. But I think that he has a lot to improve as a player because he can already shoot that mid range. Once he develops that three, he's also going to be able to stretch the floor. And he's a good defender this year. He can score the rim. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I actually also have Michael Porter Jr. at number 19 here. If that's what, yeah. I also have MPG at number 19. I mean, so surprising that he fell to number 14, but obviously first season, 18-19 didn't play at all. I think back injury, I think it was, and then came into the league in 2019. Only started 8 games out of the 50-something he played, averaged like 9 points. This season taking a humongous leap, averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist, and about a block per game. He's just been such a reliable player. You can rely on him to knock a 3 from the corner anytime. You can rely on him to drop 20 a night. Maybe not every single night, but on nights he's feeling good, you can rely on him to drop anything. I feel like he is such a bright player for the future. I honestly think he could win Most Improved Player this year. If he keeps up his performance and the Nuggets do what they've been doing, I think they can become a legit contender. I feel like we literally need to have an episode about what could happen in the West because I think there's so much to talk about. And Michael Porter Jr. will be one of the biggest factors of why the Nuggets, maybe not one of the biggest, but definitely a huge factor of why they're where they are. He is a very consistent scorer from wherever on the floor. He can do it. And even on the defensive end, maybe not the total best, but at least an average defender.
Okay, at number 19, I have Anthony Edwards. So this might be a little high to some of y'all, a little low to some of y'all. I don't know where you guys have Edwards. The reason I have Edwards at 19, I honestly think Edwards has all-star potential. I think you know, he's already a very good apart from like his efficiency, which I think can be fixed. People forget that Zach LaVine in his first year with Chicago was shooting worse than Anthony Edwards. So you have to give rookies time to fix their efficiency. He'll be fine. Donovan Mitchell, Trey Young, these guys came into the league with below average efficiency. And Zach LaVine, yes, David, in his first year with Chicago, shot 38% from the field. So, no, I'm talking about his first year with Chicago, not first year. Not his rookie season. Because Basketball Reference says that he's shooting 30. He shot 38.3% on his first year from Chicago with Chicago. So, yeah, you have to give these guys time to develop the efficiency. And apart from the efficiency and some defensive awareness, which I think can be fixed, I think he's a good team defender, just one-on-one defender. He tends to fall asleep sometimes. But I do think he can fix that up very easily. You know, he has a lot. He has a lot of attributes to his game that I really like. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of D Wade, Donovan Mitchell, something like that. I have Anthony Edwards at 19, and at number 18, I have Colin Sexton. I think most of y'all, if not all of you guys, already said him. I have a little bit higher. I have him a little bit higher because his potential might not be as high as a lot of people are making out to be. But right this season, he's having an amazing season. Colin Sexton, he's having a great season this year. And I have to give him props for what he's doing. You know, he's the head of that Cavs team. He's shooting 48% from the field. He's doing a lot of things really well. So yeah, I have Colin Sexton at 18.
Number 18 for me, I think it could be very surprising. I think some people may have him higher or lower. I'm going with Dijante Murray. I think some people already said him, but I think I have him higher than most people. Number 18, I have Dijante Murray. I think, man, it is a stud. The Spurs look like they moved on from Aldridge, obviously. I think that they're very likely to move on from DeRozan this season. And Dijante Murray this season doing very, 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 very well, averaging 16, 7, and 5. And he's already been an all defensive player. It's crazy to think that he's 24. He missed 2 years ago when he was 22 because of an injury. I think something in his leg. But he started every single game this season. He's taken a big leap from last year, not as much as Michael Porter Jr., but he was averaging 10 last season, averaging 16 now, and he's taken a big leap. Didn't even start every single game last year, so I think he's taken a huge jump this season. I think that he definitely is, and he will be taking huge jumps every single season. He's a legitimate contender. Already, he made the all defensive team in his second year in the league, which is hard to believe for me. And I think that he will make it sometime in his career again soon, multiple times. Well, if he makes it even once again, it'll be multiple times. But I think he'll make it multiple times from this year on. And he is a stud even on the offensive end of the ball. You can rely on him to score at least 15 points per game. That's why he is so good. He can do it on both ends of the floor, whether it's scoring the ball from 3, from inside, or even just defending literally any position on the floor. I think Suhas mentioned it earlier. He can guard 1 through 5.
I never said 1 through 5, but
I got, like I said earlier, I'm just a touch higher than the rest of you. You guys picked him to go, or well, 2 of you guys picked him to go, and you guys picked him last pick. I am PJ here. You know, he's a very, very, very efficient scorer. Basically on 55% from the field and 45% from threes, averaging 17 points. He's a great rebounder. He averages like 8 rebounds, and he's a small forward. So I think that this guy has a lot to grow because, like you guys said, he's already like only a third option on this team. So eventually, when he becomes a first option or a second option, he's going to be a great player. And I think that if he just works on it, he has one of the best kinds of body types and speed. He's 6'9" with a foot wingspan, and he's already pretty quick. So if he just works on his awareness and just his footwork and how to stay in front of a player, he can become a really good defender. And if he does, like, he can be a top defender in the league with his body and speed. So I think that he can be a great player.
So at 18, I have John Collins. I think John Collins is a great player, a great young player. He's pretty young. He's a restricted free agent. I don't know why Atlanta wants. I'm pretty sure Atlanta will match, but still, they should have extended him a long time ago. But because he's such a valuable player, I know Trae's a ball hog, but I don't know. But I still think John Collins has some severe potential. He's a little small to play center, but he can play center in small ball offense. But for right now, I have to put him at 18. And moving on to 17, I actually have Anthony Edwards here. I really like Anthony Edwards. I think he's a dynamic scorer. He's got some really, he's very athletic and jumpy. Like, he's got hops. And he's 19, the third option on the team. He's been averaging 20-something for the last month or so. And on a team with D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns, you really wouldn't expect that from a rookie. And imagine if he's the number one option. Like, he might go crazy. Like, he's a little inefficient right now, but most rookies are anyways. So I expect steady improvement from Anthony Edwards, and he will be a big part of the Timberwolves' plan in the future, which is why I have him at 17.
For me, at number 17, I have, I don't think you guys have him on your list, but I think he should be definitely on your list, and this is Jared Allen. You guys know I'm really high on this guy. I think that he's going to be a great player one day. He's already shown that he can shoot some mid-range shots. He's a good offensive rebounder and obviously defensive rebounder. He can score the ball. He's an amazing defender, especially this guy. He's 7 feet tall and he can sometimes switch out to guards if the screen set. So I think that if you watch him play, I don't think we take him off this list. And he's just a great player. I think one day he can be like a 20-point per game scorer and like 15 rebounds, maybe not 15, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 13 or 14. And he's obviously a great defender, and he can only improve. So I think that he's one of my favorite players in the league already. Just watching his game, and I think he has a lot to improve.
All right, moving on to number 17 here. I have Trey Young. I think a lot of you, or I'm pretty sure basically everybody's going to have him higher. But I think that his defensive lack will be, I know it's definitely old. I mean, I definitely think that it's low. A ton of you have him probably top 10, honestly. But I definitely think that Trey Young, his lack of defense is going to affect him in the future, because scoring isn't going to be the only thing. I think carrying on in the future, I know scoring is the main thing right now, but defense is going to become a bigger thing. And his lack of defense is not going to be good. He gets most of his points from the free throw line, doing the stupidest thing ever, getting off the screen and just stopping. And I think the NBA made a rule that you're not allowed to do that. I would not be surprised if somebody pulls up a stat at the end of the season of his scoring after and before that rule became a thing. I can assure you it's going to be lower. He gets to the free throw line mostly because of that, stopping after the screen or putting his hand up in front of the defender. And it's just annoying how people lean into the defender, get the foul call and all that, and then just score easy free throws. And that's the only thing he does. I mean, of course, he's a flamethrower from three, but I don't think that I think if everybody knows that in, let's say, even next season or 2 years, he will not be scoring as much. And especially, like I said, defensive lack, it's not going to bring him too far. And that's why I only have him at 17 here.
Wait, hold up. You got Jamal Murray on this list, right?
I do.
You got Jamal Murray over Trey Young?
I do.
You have
Crazy as hell.
Hold on. Do you have
No,
John Moran
no,
on
no.
this
Let me
list?
no.
Hudson.
No, wait, no. Let me say why this is crazy, bro. Because Jamal Murray is not a good defender either.
Yeah. No. Hold up. Hudson, do you have John Morant on this list?
Soon, very soon.
You have him over Trey Young? Oh my god.
Bro, if you have him at 17, that means you have. God dang, bro. Because you're about to name a lot of these dudes who are not great defenders either.
Yeah,
And Trey
that's
Young
true.
can outscore almost all of them.
That is true.
Oh yeah, is it me? My bad. I didn't even know it was me. Is it 17?
Yep, 17.
All right, 17. I have John Collins. I think someone just said 17. I think someone just said John Collins before I did. I think it might have been Tejas.
Yeah,
I have him at 17. I think John Collins is everything that you want in a modern day center apart from the defense. I need to see him improve the defense. He can stretch the floor. He can rebound. I want him to get his rebounding numbers up to where it was last year. I want basically like last year was his like peak year, and he's having a little bit of a down year now. I'm not really sure why. He's taking less shots. Probably that's why. But yeah, I have John Collins right now. And he has Clint Capela. You're right. But if they want to ever play him at the small ball five at the end of the game, they can't because he doesn't play defense. So he has to develop the defense in order for me to respect him a little bit more. But I do think he has good potential. Um, and it'll be interesting to see who he plays for next year because he wants a Hawks, and I know damn well the Hawks are not giving him a max. He wants a max, not he wants a Hawks. But at 16, I had Jamal Murray at 16. I think Jamal Murray is cool. He can score the ball. But for what Jamal Murray has done right now, Jamal Murray has never been an all-star. So if we're talking about right now, I can't put him over half these dudes. He can't play defense. And to me, I don't really think he's a true point guard. I think he's a guy. He's a guy who plays a point guard position because of his size. But um, I know Jokic is their guy who like facilitates sometimes, but sometimes when they have him on the floor and Jokic on the bench, he's gonna have to pick up his playmaking. He's gonna have to pick up his playmaking. Um, and I really do want to see him, get to that free throw line. He only averages about 3 free throw attempts a game, which is not that much for someone who attacks the rim as much as he does. So I need Jamal Murray to make at least an All-Star team because if we're talking about right now, he hasn't done that yet. So I can't put him higher than some of these dudes.
My bad. We're on 16, right? I'll take this out.
Yeah.
Where are we? 16. Okay.
Yeah, we're on 16.
Okay. Number 16 here. I have John Morant. Like Trey Young, definitely not the best defensive player, but he can score the ball crazy, and I definitely think that he will be one of the best players, definitely in Grizzlies franchise in the future if he stays healthy. We saw him not perform too well after his injury, which could be a big reason why he may not play well in the future. But obviously, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just thinking about a bit of a lack of defense, and also I think he can score like crazy. He could do a great job with basically doing anything on the offensive end. So that's why I think he will be a top 16 player in the future, 5 years, 10 years, whatever.
And I do not know what is going on with Hudson's list right now. This dude has Trey Young and John Morant in the 15 range. Suhas,
Hold on.
You're cutting out again.
Bro, this guy said that John Morant is he said he's at 16 because he's not that good of a defender, but he can score like crazy. Trey Young averages far more points and far more assists. So how is he?
Not far more assists, but he has more. Anyways, I think this is 16 spot. You're not one between below, but I don't think that as a player, he can grow a lot. Like he can grow as a ball handler and shooter maybe. But other than that, I don't see his game growing too much. I think that he's close to what I think his peak would be. He's already a great passer for a center. He can rebound the ball well, and he can shoot from the outside sometimes. Not very consistently. He shoots around 31%. But I don't think that you can put him above the rest of the guys, other than maybe one guy as an exception. I don't think you can put him above anybody else on this list.
Wait, David, who'd you say you had at 16?
Sabonis.
I also have Domantas Sabonis at 16 as well. He's a good player. He's an all-star for a reason. But he just doesn't strike me as the type of player you would want to have on your team. Because, like, I get it, he passes the ball. He's not that good of a defender, and he's mostly a post player. Like he's a night. Like, he's probably playing in the wrong era of basketball right now, if we're being honest. But he deserves a spot on this list. He's a young player. He's got time. He's got time to develop. So I've got him at 16. And at 15, this is where I start getting into my guard play. I've got Jamal Murray at 15. Jamal Murray is a really good player. Took him to the Western Conference Finals last year and probably one of the more stunning runs that we'll ever see. He's not a good defender, as mentioned before, but he can score. But I've got him at 15. I don't know if I'm missing someone, but I'm pretty sure he deserves to be at 15 on this list.
At my number 15 spot, I don't think that Tejas is gonna like this one, but I have Jaylen Brown.
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
Wow, that's low.
Oh my goodness,
that is low.
Hell no! I know you just didn't say that.
Listen, it was either this guy or the guy right above him. And
from
what I've seen,
what you're smoking right
from
now.
what I've seen from the guy above him, I don't want to put him above him.
I'm gonna call Darian, tell him to come to your house and figure out whatever is in your drink right now, because you definitely saw something high right now.
All right, let me explain myself. Okay, let me explain myself. Okay, so for Jaylen Brown, he's shown that he can be a great scorer, but sometimes he can be a little bit of a ball hog. From what I've watched, Tejas, you've watched a lot more than me, obviously, but from what I've watched,
he is a bit selfish sometimes. I will say.
Yeah,
that.
he can be a little bit of a ball hog, and unless he improves that, I don't like, because he can't get too much better of a score than he already is. Like, he can become a better one, maybe like 3 to 4 more points is what I can only see. He can become a better
passer. He can become a better defender. Look,
what are
you talking about? Bro?
Listen, let me finish what I was saying. I said I don't think he can become a better scorer than defender. Wait, let me talk. So I said I don't think he can become too much of a better scorer. Maybe only like 3 or 4 more points. And defensively, he's already a great defender. We all know that. But his passing is the only thing that strikes me, I think. And also free throw shooting. He hasn't had a great history of free throw shooting. This season, he's been a lot better than he previously has been. But if he doesn't bump up that passing, I don't think that he can become that a lot better of a player like the many players on this list can be. And that's the only reason I'm having this low. If we're talking this season after he is right now, I think he can become higher, but I think the player's more potential than he does.
Time out. You have Ja Morant, Trey Young, Darren Fox. Okay, Fox is actually acceptable. But you have Ja Morant, Trey Young over Jaylen Brown?
Quite a bit higher.
Jaylen Brown is an all-defensive caliber player. Ja Morant and Trey Young can't defend a cone. What? I still don't
Trey
understand.
Young over Jaylen Brown.
Oh my goodness gracious! I mean, I can see you can have Jaylen in the 9 to 12 range. 15, bro, come on now. Oh my god!
I don't know if I'm at 15 though.
I'm up, I think, right?
Yeah, you're up. You're at 15.
All right. Number 15, I'm going with Jamal Murray. I think that this is the right spot for him. I think around 15. Not the greatest defensive player, and I think that I may have some shuffling to do between Young, Morant, and Murray. I think I'm gonna basically just swap Murray and Young. Have Murray at 15, Morant at 16, and Trae Young at 17. At least for now. But so Murray, I will just explain right now for at 17, he's a good facilitator. I mean, if we look at Denver right now, I think that they have a big three between. I will say I think I can be agreed by multiple people. A big three between Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. The guard in there, Jamal Murray. An insane player. If we're talking about Bubble Murray, he is honestly top 10, top 5 possibly. But if we're just talking about right now, and for the future in a couple years, Jamal Murray will be an insane player. I think defensively he possibly could improve. And just the Nuggets, he's been one of the biggest helps. I mean, I think Jokic is obviously going to be number 1, being the MVP right now, or at least top 2 or 3. But Jokic, right behind him, Jamal Murray is there doing a lot of stuff. Everybody's talking about, I think more people are talking about the Nuggets here and there, but they're only talking about Jokic being the one. Jamal Murray is not getting too much talk right now. And he is, I won't say he's underrated, but I won't say he's overrated. I think he's just right, but I think he's getting a bit underrated, being that Jokic is getting all the talks and Denver being a top 4 seed and possibly having a run in the West. But Jamal Murray, definitely a player to look out for, to take a huge leap next year, average 20-something, 25 possibly. But he's been having a pretty nice year this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if he became a really, really solid player in the future years.
Okay. We're on 14, 15, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, at 15, I have Sabonis. I mean, I think everyone said everything about Sabonis. I don't really see Sabonis getting much better than he is right now. I think he's like barely eligible for this list because he's about to turn 25. He's doing pretty well. He led that Pacers team to the playoff last year, but I just see him plateauing. I think he's gonna be cool for the rest of his career. I don't really see him getting much better than what he is right now. At number 14, I have John Morant, which might be a little bit low. I'm not really a big fan of John Morant's game, man. And last night's game against the Knicks was it was kind of like it typified why I don't like his game, because in overtime, everyone was, he was just driving to the lane, forcing shots. People were wide open in the corners. He has tunnel vision a lot at times. He kind of wants to be the hero sometimes. I really don't like that. But yeah, I have John Morant at this level. I'm really concerned about his injury, his injuries, because some of his landings are crazy. But I mean, you can say that his team is competitive, but I don't really know how much you can attribute that to him, because even when he was injured, his team was doing really well too. So yeah, John Morant, I think has high potential, which is why he's where he is on my list. But I think there's guys above him that I would take over him.
For my next pick, like I said, it was between this guy and Jaylen Brown. I know that obviously I think most of you guys would have this guy above Jaylen Brown, but I have Jamal Murray here, and I'm only saying this because
what are you doing, bro? Oh my,
bro, Jamal Murray, this clutch time.
Jaylen Brown has been to 3 out of 4 Eastern Conference Finals. Jamal,
but he wasn't. Other than one of them, he wasn't a
big.
big player. In the first 2, he was pretty shit.
God.
Not gonna lie, he was a pretty bad player in the first 2. He didn't have big impact, especially in the first one. The first one, he didn't have anything. Sorry, not 2 or 3. My bad.
Oh, wait, you think Jamal Murray has more potential?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
we've all seen what Jamal Murray can do.
You can't be basing it up right now because Jaylen Brown is an all-star.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's better right now, but I'm saying potential. I think Jamal Murray he has potential to be like an extremely player. From what I see in clutch time as well. He makes insanely difficult shots, and I just don't believe what kind of shots and how shifty he can be at sometimes. Because I don't know I don't know what you guys are watching, but in the playoffs, the dude just became a different beast. And
That's
even
that's Ball
even
Murray.
listen, even listen. I should say something. Even this year, if you look him in the clutch time, he's playing amazing as well. In the last 5 minutes of the game.
Ask you a question. Do you not think Jalen is clutch or something?
Not as much. Not nearly as much as me.
Oh my. Murray's not that good, bruh. Like I'm.
Oh no, he's clutch. He's clutch. I value the defense though, so I have Jaylen Brown higher.
Jalen is an All NBA second defender, like All NBA defensive player. I still don't understand that. But
I just don't think that. I just don't think on the offensive side of the ball, Jalen can improve that much. Like he can, but I don't think he can improve as nearly as much as Jamal Murray can.
The list is top 25, under 25, and you're including potential in this. So
I thought I did not clarify for us to be potential right now.
Yes, that's what the list is about. Top 25, under 25.
Then why would we all have Lamelo this high? Tell me why we all have Lamelo this high.
Lamelo's playing well right now, and we think
nowhere near everybody else's. Yeah, but nowhere near anybody else's season right now.
I don't understand why Jalen is so low. I just don't. But
I just think that
your opinion. That's your opinion. It's a stupid opinion. But anyways, at 14, I've got John Morant.
It's not you yet. It's not you.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't. Okay. I'm just not gonna talk. It's okay.
No, you said 14, didn't you? You had Murray at 14.
I thought 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
No, you were 14.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, you're right. It's because I was going to say that's fine.
Yeah, you had Murray at 14. Yeah. So, anyways, at 14, I have John Morant. Suhas, you mentioned it. He's got tunnel vision at times. I love the way he plays, though. Like, dude is fearless. I mean, he'll attack the basket like he's going 100 miles an hour. But I will say, Russell Westbrook has got to talk to this man. Someone has got to talk to John Morant and tell him to start landing carefully and being more careful in terms of athleticism, because I'm knocking on wood right now. Like, we do not want him to become like Derrick Rose. It's becoming, his athleticism is off the charts, but I'm for his sake, but he's a good passer too, and he's carrying this Memphis team. But again, tunnel vision at times, defense is bad. But on this list, he deserves to be at 14, I think. And then moving on to 13, this is where I have Trey Young. Trey Young is a prolific scorer. But the problem is for me is about Trey Young is I don't know if he's going to impact winning as much. I just don't think he's going to impact winning as much as like someone like above him, like because Trey Young, he's a defensive liability in the playoffs. He's going to get exposed on the defensive end unless you just run hedges all over the place. But if they get this man in foul trouble, he's done for. Like, what is the point of having Trey Young on the floor? Yeah, maybe on the offensive end, but defensively, he's going to get hunted. And I really don't know if I want to have that type of player on my team. He's just a defensive liability. And I don't think he tries on the defensive end either. I just don't see any effort from him. He's a shooter and a passer, but at times, like, defensively, he's just a liability. And that's why I've got him at 13. But Hudson forgot his 14, so we'll let him go first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go quickly now. I think I could be missing a player, so let me know if this is high. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 14. Does that seem right?
I thought that was pretty low. I have him higher.
Okay. So
I don't have him like that much. I have him like a couple spots higher.
Okay, so it's not too bad. So I'm missing a player because I have Shai back to back for 14 and 15 for 14, 13. I messed up my list somehow.
Look at the pool of players like above, and then
I was looking before. I'm not sure. Okay, so basically, I think I have Shai 14 here. I think he's going to be part of the Thunder franchise for as long as it will be alive until he retires, unless he decides to leave in free agency somehow, somewhere, gets traded somehow. I don't see it happening. I think he's going to be with the Thunder long term, and I think he's playing very, very well. I don't think is he still out from his injury? I'm not too sure, but he's been injured a little bit this season, which is a bit of a hit. But if we're talking about future, I think he has tons of potential. Only maybe 22, 23 years, maybe 24 years old. Has been moved around the league a couple times. But yeah, I definitely think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has top 15 player potential in this league right now for the future.
Okay, so for my, wait, you did 13, right? Or did you not do it?
No. I did my 13, but we had to go back to his 14. So.
Yeah, okay. So
We're at 13.
and my 13 pick, once again, Taylor's is going to debate me on why I have him higher than Jaylen Brown, but I have Ja Morant. I just think that at his age, in 2 seasons, he's averaging 7 assists, with a higher assist-to-turnover ratio than 2. So that's insanely good for a guy who's 20 years and 21 years old. In today's game of basketball, and he's obviously scoring the ball really well too. He started off this season before he got injured, scoring the ball extremely well. I think he averaged like 0.9 per game, something that before he got injured, and he dropped off big time. He's pretty inconsistent after that. I don't know if he tweaked his ankle pretty badly and it's still affecting him or what. But I think that he has the potential to be a really, really great point guard in our league. He just needs to get his shooting better. Obviously, he's one of the most fun players to watch. The dude jumps high. He jumps through the roof. And I think that, he's just somebody who's going to be a good player for a long time if he doesn't get injured.
I cannot find who I'm missing. So I'm going to have to skip for my 13 here. My bad.
All right. At 13, this is where I have Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is like low or high. To me, it seems about right. He's taken a big step from what he was doing last year. So I have to reward him. But like, as long as he's playing with the guy who's better than him, I don't really see how much he can grow. As much as some of these guys that I have above them, like some of these guys are going to be go-tos. Some of these guys are going to get a lot more shots. So I think that Jaylen Brown is cool. He's definitely cool. And if he stays like this his whole career, it's a very good. He'll be a very good player. But and he's an amazing defender and everything. I just don't see how much he's going to be improving on that team. Because he has a lot of players that are going to demand shots on that team. And but yeah, he's still a great player, which is why I have him where I have him on my list. And at 12, this is really tough, bro. I put Lamelo at 12 because I don't really know what to do. Like I had no clue where to put Lamelo. It was so hard to judge Lamelo. He was having an amazing rookie season until his injury. I just didn't see his full rookie season, so I don't really know where to put him. And David, I did not say Trey Young yet. Every rookie hits like a rookie wall, so I have yet to see Lamelo's rookie wall. So I'm not really sure like how to judge him, but based off of half the season that he's played, he's been playing amazing, which is why I have him really high. Yeah, he has great potential. I don't think he means as much to the team as people are making it out though, because their team is still the 4 seed without him, and without Gordon Hayward. So shout out to Terry Rozier and everyone else holding it down. But yeah, I have him at 12.
Yeah, well, for number 12 for me, this is the
Hudson, what's your 13 before you go on?
13. I was missing a player. I couldn't find where I messed up, and I did not know, but maybe as a fill-in, I mean, he wouldn't definitely be at this level, but I could say a guy like Colin Sexton. To put
That's way too high. That's way too high, but
no. He wouldn't be at 13, but I just can't find the missing player that I lost.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't have Sexton on your list, right?
I didn't.
Then
so you could just put him like wherever,
and then find a place for Sexton.
Yeah. Also, I'll move Shai up to 13, and then Trae etc. And then I'll move, let's say, Sexton to 20-ish in that area. But basically, I think for number 12 here, This may be a bit of a stretch, but I will be going with Brandon Ingram at 12. I think that you guys are going to have him way higher. I guess I don't think anybody has said Brandon Ingram yet, and I think that most of you have him. I'm hoping not way higher, so I don't look like a complete idiot. But I was getting kind of confused here because this is where I was getting just like I did not really know where to put these players. So Brandon Ingram will be my number 12 player here. He definitely has a lot of potential on the scoring end. Playing with Zion will kind of limit his expectations just because the Pelicans are such a young team. They have 3 players on this list for me, I think, with most people being Lonzo himself and Zion in the top 5. I'm hoping at least. And so, but Brandon Ingram, to me, is still the number 1 option on this team. I think BI is almost not really like a guard, but their forwards are stacked between him and Ingram, between him and Zion. And I think that the Pelicans definitely have a bright future, and I think that their number 1 option could still be strong with Brandon Ingram.
I'm gonna have to agree on Suhas with this one. I have Lamelo Ball here. I think that upside wise, he can be above a few of these players here, definitely. But obviously, this is both this season and his potential. So, for a rookie, he's having such an amazing year. 16, 6, and 6. He's getting his passing lanes, picking the ball out of the passing lanes. He's very efficient for a rookie, 45% from the field, 38%. So I think that he's just a very complete player, and that with his length, he can see over defenses, just like Ben Simmons does, but obviously a little bit shorter, not at that level yet. But I think that he can be a great player in the future, and he's shown that he has that poise so far this year.
Sorry. This is 12, right? Yes. At 12, okay, I'm going to make a switch with my list real quick. I'm going to switch. I'm going to have Jaylen Brown at 12. This is where I think he belongs. I really don't, as I've mentioned before, all NBA defensive caliber. Great scorer, still got room to develop his passing, and good rebounder. But yeah, I've got him at 12. And this is the switcher I made. I actually had Brown at 11, but I think I have to make this decision. It's going to be tough. But at 11, I have Ben Simmons. I think Simmons has a little bit more room to grow than Jaylen Brown. Although right now I think Brown is better than him. Yes, it's low, but I just don't think Ben Simmons is that much of a transcendental player you want to have on your team. He was being compared to Magic Johnson and all that stuff. Ben Simmons is 11 on my list. I just don't see it with Ben Simmons. I get it. He's a great defender. I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. But offensively, he's such a liability. I just don't see we've been hearing for years. Oh, he's got a jump shot. Wait till he gets a jump shot. Well, it has been it's his 5th year now, and we don't have a jump shot. And David, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Okay, David, when he plays a good coach in the playoffs, when he plays a good coach in the playoffs, like Brad Stevens, he's going to get smothered. They're just gonna leave him at the top of the key. I promise you, it doesn't matter what offense Doc Rivers is going to do. Yeah, it could be Spoelstra. It could be, all the defensive coaches, Spoelstra, Stevens. They're going to take Simmons out of the game. Okay? It doesn't matter, David. It doesn't matter. They will put a big defender on Ben Simmons, and he will have nothing to... Dude, again, David, why do you think all the good coaches... Point being, I just don't think Simmons is going to be that good, but I still think he has room to grow, which is why he's 11 on that.
Oh man, I have what's it called? I have Ben Simmons much higher than what you just said. But for my next pick, I have a guy who I think has some of the most potential in the league, and he's having a pretty great season in my opinion. I thought he'd be doing just a little bit better because of the players that he had on this team last season. He's a beast. He can defend because he's long as well, and he's already scoring 24.6 assists, 4 rebounds, and efficient as well. 50, 40, 80. which, it could be 50, 40, 90 if, he improves his free throw. But I think that he has a lot of upside in this league. He's a very, very patient player. He doesn't rush. That's what I like to see in players who are good at handling the ball. When they rush, sometimes, it causes them to miss a lot of shots, and he's not like that. He likes to pick out his shots. He likes to figure out what he wants to do with offense. So I think that he'll be a great player in the future.
Well, number 11 here, I'm actually going to be going with Lamela Ball. Very tough to me where I would put these rookies, or not these rookies because I only have one being Lamelo, but he was looking like the rookie of the year, I think by far actually. Obviously injured, possibly being out for the season. Looks like the Hornets could be making the playoffs, and he could make a return for that. Definitely won't be 100%. Obviously being that he's been out for more than a couple months by the time he gets back, if he does. And I think that LaMelo definitely still has some potential. Not some, actually, a lot of potential for when he comes back next season and the seasons after. And the seasons after, he's going to have a lot of potential. I think the Hornets are a great place for him to be. And with those, maybe the team isn't the strongest, but with everybody healthy, they're definitely a playoff team, and they're only going to be getting better.
At 11, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, same as David. Love his game. I picked him for most improved. I thought he was going to do a little bit more than what he's doing right now, but his team is actually doing pretty well competing. At 10, I have Brandon Ingram. It's sad to see my boy is slowly falling off as their best player. It's sad. Brandon Ingram, he was one of my favorite players, but I just don't know. Zion is taking over that team, man. So I have to not knock him down a little bit lower. He wasn't even an All-Star this year, so and I don't really see him, on that team hitting his ceiling. So I have Brandon Ingram at 10.
Yeah, well, like I said before, this was kind of a very confusing place. I was kind of debating whether at 10 I would put Sabonis or Brown. I think that they're kind of on an even level right now between offense and defense and potential, and right now, just because they're both extremely good on both sides of the ball. But I'm gonna be going with Sabonis here. I think that Brown could be better, but I'll explain him next. I think that Sabonis has definitely been the best player on his team, and he definitely has been playing almost like an MVP at the beginning of the season. Still playing like maybe not an MVP, but definitely all-star caliber for sure. And he's been doing it all, offense, defense. He's been leading his team to, I don't even think that the Pacers have nobody in the East has had a good record this year. You look at teams underperforming, Heat, Pacers, but the Pacers, I think, will end up making the playoffs, and Sabonis definitely has some potential, barely making it on the list, though, I think, at 24 years old.
This pick for me was pretty tough because the next 3 or 4 or so guys, I think that it was pretty hard for me to pick, and I think that one of these guys you guys have a lot higher than I do. Maybe not, but at this spot, I think this is 10. I have Trey Young. Like he has defensive liability. He's a great passer and a great scorer. Like sometimes he's pretty careless. Like he puts up some shots. Shot selection is not that great. He turns the ball over a lot. Nearly five turnovers. So, I think that he can grow, but the only way he can grow is in his shot selection. And if he becomes a smarter player, then he'll also become a smarter defender. He definitely does not have the body to become a good defender. And so far from what we've seen, he definitely does not know how to be a good defender. But if he becomes a smarter player, he'll improve both defensively a little bit and offensively. I think that he's pretty cool. That's very, very for him to be close to 30 years. But I don't see where he can grow that much.
10, I have Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram. We've seen the Kevin Durant comparisons. There's a reason for that, and I still think he's got a lot more to grow. He can be a way better scorer than he is right now, but he's slowly starting to dwindle as a first option, becoming the second option on that Pelicans team. But still a great scorer, and I think he deserves to be 10 on this list. And at 9 is where I think a lot of people are going to be coming at my head for. I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 9. I think Shai has if he gets a team around him, he's going to be a dangerous player because if he gets shooters, he gets we've seen they have so many draft picks. OKC, they get a team around them.
Okay, David, give your 9. Never mind. Tejas.
I just disconnected. My bad. If they get a team around this man, if they get a team around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're gonna be a really good team. And that's why I've got him at 9. But it's gonna be pretty weird to have him at 9, but I've got him.
Like I said, this area for me was really hard to pick. The next 2 and last pick, those 3 players are pretty hard to pick for me. And this one was between 2 guys. One of them's having an amazing season. I'm not gonna pick him. I'm gonna pick Brandon Ingram here. I guess I had a little bit lower than I did, but I think he's much more potential than everybody believes. He's a very underrated playmaker. He can dribble the ball very well. His bag offensively is amazing. And I know you guys had him at 10. It's just a slight bit over that, because I just think that he has a lot of upside. And like you said, there's that Kevin Durant comparison, and I don't think that he's going to be nearly as good as a player as Kevin Durant was in his prime ever, but he can be a glimpse of what Kevin Durant is, and I think that's still a great player, especially for somebody who's 23 years old at the moment.
Well, yeah, my bad. For my number, I think 9 now. I'm gonna be going with Jaylen Brown just to kind of mess with Tejas. I'm just gonna mention that Jaylen Brown is averaging less than 15 points in his career, but this season, just absolutely forgetting about that, averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, having an absolutely absurd season. All NBA defense, all defensive potential, maybe for 3rd team, definitely not higher, and all NBA. Maybe not this season. Wouldn't be surprised if he made it next season, though. But he has such high potential, and the only reason he's not higher, if Tatum's obviously very, very high on this list for me, but it's crazy how the Celtics have 2 players in the top 10. So credits to them for that. Not really credits, but Jaylen Brown definitely has a lot of potential, defense and offense. He can do everything on the floor, which is the main reason I'm having him this high up.
At 9, this is where I have Trae Young. I'm going to make this fast. I know everyone is talking about his defense, but I do think that his offense, you can't ignore what he does on offense. He's one of the best playmakers. He's one of the best scorers. I know he's taken a hit this year, his scoring. He was at 29 last year. He's averaging 25. He's already been an All-Star once. I see no reason why he can't be an All-Star again. At number 8, this might be a bit low. I have De'Aaron Fox, and the only reason I have De'Aaron Fox at number 8 is because right now he hasn't done nearly as much as everyone else above him. For me to put him above some of these other guys, he's never been an All-Star. He hasn't got any personal accolades. He's been putting up great stats, and I think he will be an All-Star eventually. But right now, I can't put him above some of these other guys. So, I have Fox at 8.
I actually also have De'Aaron Fox at number 8. He's having a great season this season. I don't know why I keep saying he's having a great season this year. And I think if anything, he will just be improving. He's the star on that team. I don't see how anybody is better than him on that team. Maybe who's the next best player on that team? Like Marvin Bagley or Buddy Hield? Maybe even Tyrese Haliburton, you could argue. But De'Aaron Fox is the leader of that team by far. And I definitely think that De'Aaron Fox will be an NBA All-Star next season. That is a hot take. I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. That De'Aaron Fox will be a All-Star next season. So, I'm gonna have him at 8 here.
Oh man, I'm gonna get slandered for this pick as well. I think this guy, out of everybody on this list, except for maybe 1 or 2 guys, probably around 1 or 2 guys, is having having one of the best seasons. Because he's leading his team to the 1 seed. That's Donovan Mitchell. This is probably really low compared to what you guys have him, but he's a pretty inconsistent player. From what I've seen, and he's not very efficient. But when it comes to clutch time, he always shows up. And that's something that I like. I could have higher. And, he's a great shooter. He's a good passer, especially for a shooting guard. And, he just doesn't, when I watch him play, he's a fun player to watch because he's athletic. He can score from anywhere on the court, right? But, he's not that good of a defender, and he's pretty inconsistent. He's also not that efficient, shooting 44%. And, he does have a lot of potential. He has having a good season, but I don't think he has better potential than anybody I have above him. But he is having probably one of the best seasons right now out of everybody in this list. So you can hire him.
I think my respect for David is going even down as the episode continues. But I'll get to Donovan Mitchell later. At 7, or no, we're at 8. We're at 8. I'm sorry. At 8, I also have Darren Fox for the reasons mentioned. He's going to be a really good player in this league. But I don't know if the Kings can get out of that hell. If the Kings can somehow get into the playoffs, I don't know. But if he leaves and finds a better team, he will be in a much better place. And he's just got potential all around. We see it night and day. This dude could have been an all-star this year, but he's got potential. But anyways, moving on. At 7, this is where I think I might trigger people again. I have Lamelo Ball at 7. I think Lamelo is the real deal. And although ESPN was wrong for having him at 3, I think 7. I think if you have him in that 7 to 10 range, or even 7 to 11 to 12 range, is appropriate. I know 7 is a bit high, but I think LaMelo Ball is that great. His passing ability, I didn't even think he was that good of a 3-point shooter, but he is dawning on me. When he gets going from the 3-point line, he is a scary player to be guarding against. And I just think in Charlotte, with that team around him, if they get more young pieces, they're going to be a legit team to fear in this league, and it's going to be all headed by LaMelo Ball, and that's why I've got him at 7.
I don't think that this guy is having a better season by any means. As I said before, from what I've seen of him, and he can really good play league. I don't think he has more potential than any of the guys over him right now, but I think that he's shown that he can be a great player. Clutch time throughout the entire game. Obviously, he's a great passer. Has a good assist to turnover ratio. I keep mentioning that because that's something that I like to see, players who have good assist to turnover ratios. And he's a very efficient scorer and especially he averages a lot of points for somebody who doesn't have that great of a 3-point shot. He shoots 30% from 3 around there, and so he doesn't score that many free throws. Not great for the shooter. So I think that from what I've seen, he's shifty, he's fast, he can pass. He's become one of the most unguardable players in this league, and that's why I like him so much.
Sorry, David. Who do you have at 7? Oh, I mean, sorry, we're on 8 or no 7 right now, right? Yeah. All right. At number 7 here, I'm gonna have Ben Simmons. I think Tejas had him lower, and I think I'm guessing that David and Suhas have him higher. But I think between the 5 and maybe 10 range should be a good spot. And I think, like you said, defensive wise, he's definitely potentially defensive player of the year if he does not win it this year. I wouldn't say that there's something wrong with the system. Obviously, we have another 20 so games to go, but he will definitely finish top 3. I will assure you that, unless he's suddenly out next game, and unless he's suddenly, you know what I mean. But I think for the future years to come, Simmons will be an all defensive player every single year or so, and offensively, he may be just inconsistent now. I mean, I'm now thinking about it. He's a beast on offense. Maybe not inconsistent, but I think on offense, you look at a guy like Giannis, no 3-point shot, no jump shot in general, really, and you in the playoffs locked up by Miami. Not saying that just because they're my team, but honestly, you just build the wall. He can't get past. almost the same thing with Ben Simmons, I think, except he doesn't even have. I mean, Giannis is a little bit of a 3-point shot. Ben Simmons doesn't really have anything. We've been waiting for like 5 years, and he does not have. He doesn't have any jump shot. I mean, he like has it, but he just can't use it at all. And I think that he will get locked up in using a wall strategy and just not go anywhere. He can pass, but I mean, if you're against a really good defense, I don't think that that's going to let you pass. And so I'm gonna have Simmons on here mainly because of his defense and finishing ability, but like just the way in the playoffs how it's gonna work, I don't think it's gonna work too well.
My number 7 is Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell is cool, but I think he gets a lot more credit than I don't want to say he deserves. But he gets a lot of credit for his team being the number 1 seed. When in actuality, his team is just really good. You know, his team is constructed really well. He has a really good team around him. So, yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell is a great scorer, but I don't really see him being much more than that. And at number 6, I have Benjamin Simmons. The reason I have him at 6 is because at his floor, Ben Simmons is a perennial all-star. I don't really care what anyone says. Everyone wants to talk about his jump shot, but he's going to be an all-star. He's been an all-star twice already without having a jump shot. So whether he gets a jump shot or not, I don't really care because, I think he will get a jump shot soon. I know a lot of people say that, but I think he will. But even without it, he's still an all-star. So I have to respect what he's doing. His potential is through the roof. Defensively, he's amazing. So I have him at 6.
Well, number 6 for me is also going to be Donovan Mitchell. I think top 10, top 5, top 10 players on your favorite team. I definitely had Donovan Mitchell. Or sorry, I'm not agreeing here. Or yeah, I think you would. No, sorry. I'm having Donovan Mitchell at 6. I love his play style. One of my favorite players not on my team, and I think that he is so much to prove. Leading the Jazz to where they are right now, I think he's been the main factor, the biggest factor, and I think he has so much to prove in the coming years.
In my number 6 spot, I have a guy that, once again, I think Tate is going to flame me for putting him here. I have Devin Booker. For the past 3 seasons, he's averaged 26 points per game, and he hasn't stepped up that much scoring wise. He's been more efficient, and now obviously this season he has Chris Paul, so he's not improving too much, but he's improving his shot selection. Obviously, he has one of the best scoring bags in the league, but once again, it's another player who doesn't have the defense, and I think that he doesn't really from what I've seen. He just looks like a guy who talks a lot and can't defend. And when he gets exposed defensively, he just breaks down offensively as well, which is what I saw in the Clippers game. He was talking a lot of smack against Paul George, and then Paul George scored him 3 times in a row. And then from there on, he didn't have a good game. He started the game off, I think, 5 of 5, Devin Booker, and then he just stopped after that. And I think that if he develops that defense, he definitely up 4 or 5 guys, but he's not there now.
At 6, I have Bam Adebayo. I don't know if this is a little bit high, but Bam is a monster. But I think 6 is appropriate for this spot. I actually thought this was high for Bam Adebayo. I know Suhas and Hudson are going to have a say with me here and probably say, wait, you just didn't have Bam at all? Hold on. Time out. Is Bam 25?
No. We didn't name him yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean about we didn't have.
No. So no, in my opinion, I thought it was high for Bam because on ESPN's list, I think they had him at 9 or 10. But I thought 6 was high because I don't know if I can have him over these top 5 players. But I thought 6 was ideal, and that's where I'm going to keep Bam. And at 5, I'm gonna have Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker is a stud. He's Kobe Bryant 2.0, I think. Plays exactly like him. And if he's finally got the team this year, he's got a really good team, and he's got a chance to no, 2.0 doesn't mean he's better, but I just think he's similar like Kobe.
2.0 means like the better version, like a new version. You could say like
No, it doesn't. It just means like he's similar, bro. That's not what
he's
2.0
similar.
means.
Yeah, so what I mean is Devin Booker's got an opportunity this year to take his team to the finals. And I'm interested to see what he does with the team. He went 8-0 on the bubble last year. I'm interested to see what he does this year. But he's a prolific scorer, and he's a really good passer. He does everything on the floor correctly. I think he's got a shot this year. We'll see. I've got him at 5. But I think that's an appropriate place for him on this list.
At number 5, I have Bam Adebayo. This guy's potential is very high. You know, he's already one of the best defenders in the league. He defends 1 through 5. He's shown he can shoot that close mid-range, so if he extends it, that'll be really great. He can pass the ball really well from that high post area. Like, I'm not saying in the post, but in the high post area. You know, he can facilitate the ball extremely well for his size and with his position. He's athletic. He can just do almost everything except for, you know, shoot the ball from the 3 or like run the offense as a ball handler. Like that's like the main ball handler. But you know, in the future, he's shown that he can eventually do that, and that's insane. That a guy like who's playing like he is right now can do that. You know, he'll just have everything, and I don't think there's ever been a center who has everything. So, you know, that's just an amazing thing to accomplish. I think that he can do it.
All right, number 5 here. I actually also have Bam on Adebayo. I just don't. All right, I'm starting to rethink this. Changing it up. Give me Devin Booker at number 5 here. Dude has so much potential that I will say that he deserves to be at number 5. So I don't really think it needs too much explaining. Going with Devin Booker at 5 here.
I'm going Devin Booker at 5 as well. I've been a Devin Booker fan since, bro. I can't even remember since when I think he was playing in Louisiana in a high school, and then he committed to Kentucky. And that's when I really became a fan of his game. Devin Booker. I really wanted the Heat to take him. The man is a stud. You know, one of the best scorers in the game. You know, he has everything in his bag. He's shooting 49%, which is super efficient. So yeah, Devin Booker at 5. I have Bam at 4. Tejas, you put him at 6. That's fine. I really thought top 5 was where Bam was, you know, is appropriate for Bam. Like in that 4 or 5 range, but 6 is fine too. The reason I have Bam at 4 is because David said that he's not like the primary ball handler, but the statistics show that he actually handles the ball like more than anyone else on the team. As far as like bringing the ball up on the court, because when he gets the rebounds, everyone just goes, and he's the guy who brings it up the court. So he has the ball handling. It's just the shooting from the 3 that he's gonna have to develop. Everything else is in his bag, and he's gonna develop the 3-point shot. I'm sure of it. Not only because he won the skills challenge, because he knocked down every 3 there, and not only because of his off-season workouts or whatever, but yeah, I do think he's gonna develop 3. I do wish that Spo would like. I don't want him to like rush him, but like unleash him, bro. Like he has everything. He can shoot the 3. So, yeah, I do think he's gonna shoot the 3 soon. So yeah, I have Bam at 4. Yeah, and top 3. Once y'all do it I'll tell you the top 3 is pretty self-explanatory.
Number 5 for me, I'm also going Bam Adebayo here. I
4.
definitely think that
4, not 5.
Oh, my bad. 4. No, sorry. Yeah, 4. 4. Number 4, I got Bam. I think that the like you said, the top 3 are self-explanatory. But number 4, I'm definitely going with Bam here. He's definitely got all he needs, and I think that he definitely does have a 3-point shot. We saw in the skills competition last year and he can literally he's like a point center. He can do everything on the floor, whether it's offense, and he can shoot. He has that mid-range shot we've been seeing this season now. 3-point shot he doesn't take because everybody on the floor can shoot a 3-point shot. I mean, other than guys like Jimmy Butler and Precious Achiuwa, they make up for with their defense, but basically anybody else on the floor can shoot the 3 ball. So we don't need Bam to, but I think he definitely could. But what we need him to do is have a mid-range jump shot. Obviously, we don't only want him to score in the paint, and I think that mid-range jump shot is working out perfectly right now, especially for in the playoffs. It'll be perfect. And he can do it all. Defense, offense, you name it. He can do everything on the floor. And I think if he's unleashed and gets 40 minutes per game, we can win a lot more.
My number 4 spot, I have Ben Simmons. And you guys know that I'm a certified Ben Simmons hater. But you guys cannot disrespect the guy and not put him in the top 5 or top 6 even. I find it crazy that the page didn't have Ben Simmons in the top 6. Like, actually crazy. Like, this guy, he's
not top 6. He didn't have him in his top 10.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. He had him. I think he had him at 11. And same with Hudson. I'm sure Hudson had him at 11 too. Oh my god, bro! You guys know I'm a certified Ben Simmons hater.
No, Hudson and I both had him at 6. I think. No, I had him at 6. Hudson had him at 7.
Okay, 7 and 6. So Hudson, you had him under the top 6. Both of you guys messed up there, in my opinion. But this guy's insane. You guys watch what he brings to a basketball game, and it's just, he's also a good defender. And he leads the NBA in points created right after rebound. And if you think about it, that's pretty insane because that doesn't even just mean fast break. He's the best fast break player in the league, but that doesn't just mean fast break. As soon as he gets that rebound, he's pushing the ball up the court, and he's big and tall, and he doesn't have a bad handle on the ball, so he's not going to turn it over right away. So he's just going to bulldoze through, right? And if that's not going to happen, and they're just going to pile it up, he just kicks the ball because he's so tall and he's a great passer, and he'll just find the open player. So this guy on the fast break and after a rebound is almost unstoppable. What I watch. And I find that if he ever does develop even the mid-range jump shot that Bam, even a little bit less of a mid-range jump shot that Bam has right now, it's going to add a lot to his game, and it's going to open a lot more. So I think that he has crazy potential. He's already a really great player in the league right now.
At 4, I have my boy Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell's an absolute stud. He's got a chance to win a championship. He's going to be one of the most dynamic players in this league. He just has that it factor, I think, Donovan Mitchell. He plays like a superstar, and he will be a superstar in this league. He's got it all. I don't know why you guys underrate him. I get it. He's not the most efficient type player you want to have on your team, but he can improve on that. I think he can improve on multiple assets of his game. His defense, his scoring is not even there yet. He could be a 27 to 28, maybe even around 30-point per game scorer. I feel. I just feel that much about Donovan Mitchell. He's such a good player in my mind, and that's why I've got him at 4. And at 3.
Wait. 3, 2, 1. We have Tatum, Zion, and Luka, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
In the top 30.
But I think Tatum has something different for 2 and 3. Tatum has something different for 2 and 3.
Does he have Tatum at 3?
I have Zion Williamson at 3.
Yeah.
Hell
no.
Pause. So do I.
What?
Oh, yeah. See, I know someone. The thing about Zion is let me talk about Zion for a second. Okay. Here's the problem. I get it, David. We've never seen somebody this agile at 290 pounds. I get it. Okay. But let me tell you something. Giannis is someone we can compare Zion to somewhat. You build a wall around him. Zion Williamson is going nowhere. He has no jump shot. You build a wall. I get it. He can pass and all that stuff. I just don't think he has that it factor to take a team on and put him on his back. I get it in the regular season because teams don't try. The teams don't have a game plan. But when teams have time to set up a game plan for Zion Williamson, I think he can be stopped. Good coaches like Monty Williams, Quinn Snyder, good coaches like Frank Vogel, Ty Lue, they're all going to stop him because they will find a way to stop Zion Williamson. I feel like he can be stopped. You throw a wall around him, it's over.
Nah. He's
no,
too.
No, hold on.
No,
let me finish.
The difference between
I'm not done.
Okay. Keep talking.
No, but what I'm saying is like, okay, if Zion was that good, then why aren't the Pelicans doing that well? They're what, sitting in the 11th seed right now, I think?
Because the team they have built around is not good at all. They're the worst 3-point shooting team. So,
okay, but yes, they're one of the worst.
Oh, and Stan Van Gundy is
he's
Stan Van Gundy's a terrible coach. They need to fire him. But
okay, wait. But the point that you made about the wall, that's not going to work with Zion because his feet are way too mobile. I'm telling you, bro, they tried that last night, the Sixers. It didn't work.
Bro, they've already tried it on him so many times. They've already tried it on him.
You just have to put a bigger defender on him. You have to throw a center.
He's too fast.
A mobile center.
He's too fast for center.
Let me give you a prime example. Okay, what was it? Last month, back in February, when the Celtics had their pathetic game against the Pelicans, towards clutch time, they had Tristan Thompson try and guard Zion. It clearly didn't work. Okay, and then they had Robert Williams come in, and he played some terrific defense. And I just think a mobile big man can stop Zion Williamson. But I just don't think he's better than Jason Tatum. I just don't. I think Jason Tatum has the potential to win a championship, to be a 30-point per game scorer one day, to lead it. I think Tatum has the potential to average something on the lines of 30, 10, and 5. Like, that's how good I think he is. And I just don't know if Zion has that. I don't think Zion could carry a team. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead, David.
I'm just going to say a piece on this Tatum versus Zion thing. So you're talking about building a wall on Zion or putting a bigger guy on him. Zion having the most efficient 25 points per game of all time. Nobody has ever shot 62% from the field while averaging 20
Let me ask you a question. Does Zion take a shot outside of 10 feet?
Okay, and?
No, I'm asking you seriously. Does he take a shot outside of 10 feet?
Actually gets to 2 shots.
Okay, 2 mid-range shots. Yeah. Bro, Tatum's basically his entire game is developed off of creating off the dribble. Okay.
So Zion creates off the dribble, and then you just pull those.
Just attacking the paint. Okay. Well, you build a wall, and he can be stopped. I promise.
Listen, he's the most efficient 25-point per game scorer ever. So if you build a wall, he's gonna shoot more.
He's just gonna shoot more. 5-footers.
But he's just gonna go more. He's gonna shoot more. He's already so efficient, so he's not gonna be messing his team up. If he's still gonna be efficient after he shoots more, he's still making more than half shots.
Okay, there is another thing. There is another thing you can do with Zion, and that's double. If you double and play zone, that's a way you could. Coaches will find a way to stop Zion Williams. I promise you. There is going to be
a way to stop anybody. You can find a way to stop anybody.
Zion Williamson will be stopped, and I think it will be not that hard to stop at all. A team like Miami, who has the prototypical center you need, and someone like Bam Adebayo to guard Zion Williamson is what you need.
Zion will just bulldoze him. He's too weak.
No, okay. I get it. He's 290
he's like 50 pounds on him. He's not.
Okay, but let me tell you something. Getting past that big of a body, Bam is big too.
He's big, but he's not as strong.
Okay, then you send 2. You have to bring 2 to Zion, force him to kick it out. You can't let Zion beat you. I think that's his problem.
You can do that with the Pelicans because they don't have shooters. That's exactly what I'm saying. But if once he gets on a team that has shooters, you can't do that. If you put him around a team with players who can basically shoot, you double him. He's just throw it to the next guy, and you're gonna have when you just pass on the perimeter. And eventually, if they don't get shot, Zion will be there again with one player on him. That's what I'm trying to say.
I just don't think it about Zion. And the other thing is Zion has injury issues too.
I mean, this season he's
He's
played
been
pretty
relatively healthy this season. Yeah, I'll
I think
give you
I
that.
think he's played some of the most minutes, not minutes. Some
Yeah,
of the most
minutes he's ever played. Yeah.
no, not minutes he's ever played. Some of the most games that are all like he's not. I'm not saying
Yeah,
he's a superstar or
no,
anything,
I
but
completely agree.
out of all the stars and superstars, I think he's played some of the most games. He's only missed like I think 5 games, which is pretty insane.
Yeah,
He's so,
it's like 5 games.
so
No, I see, but I just don't think he's better than Jason Tatum. I just legit do not think it is. I don't think he has it in him to carry that Pelicans team all the way to the finals. I just don't. Like, it's not going to work. Somebody is going to find a way to stop him. And the reason why I don't think they can stop someone like Jason Tatum is because he's similar. He plays like Kobe Bryant. You think teams could stop Kobe Bryant? No. Kobe played like MJ. You think teams could stop MJ? No. Like, it just proves my point. Like, I don't think teams can stop Jason Tatum. But anyways, we all have Luka Doncic at 1, I'm assuming. Hudson, do you want to say anything about this?
I'm just gonna quickly mention that basically everything that you said. Zion can be stopped. I know that they already Zion can be stopped somehow at least, and he doesn't take a shot outside the paint, and that's the main reason. Tatum can shoot from anywhere. Zion is only going to be driving in, and I think every single coach is going to know that by the playoffs and against a good coach and all. But that's gonna, or I can, but that's gonna wrap the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stay
One thing I did want Hudson is gonna post all of our top 25 lists towards the end of this video. If you guys don't feel like listening to the entire hour 40 ramble that we just went through, and you guys can give your comments. You guys can give your suggestions in the comments. And yeah, go ahead and wrap it up, Hudson.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And stay tuned for more videos. I'm guessing a lot of people probably disagreed with some of these takes here, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.